Okay, we have one final question over here.
Hi, it's Natalia Zhuk, Carta Berlin. My question would be two fast questions to Benedict as an actor and as an executive producer. First of all, I've been following your work for ages, and what I'm always amazed with is how brave you are going deep into the very unpleasant and painful parts of human nature, be it in Patrick Melrose or in The Thing with Feathers or in Frankenstein. So I assume it means that you're a very empathetic person, so you feel things. And at the same time, how do you manage not to really take this work home, and how do you, preserve this your own psychological self by being so open in the stories you tell? And about the executive producing, you are the advocate of new writers, new directors. You do a lot to promote fresh talent. How important is it for you, and how do you do this choice? Who is the next? How do you find these new people? Because they are all great, really. Thank you for that.
Thank you, thank you. My life. Okay, well, no, thank you for your question. Yeah, I think the extremes stand out in my work for obvious reasons. I'm drawn to the ones that I've tackled because they're kind of meat and drink, for actors. And maybe that's a mistake because there's such profundity, I was alluding to, in the everyday. It doesn't have to be the extremes of the human condition, human experience, but the things that scare me, perhaps this is an answer of sorts, the things that scare me have a real lure. The things I feel uncomfortable about being able to do really draw me in. The things I feel I haven't done before draw me in, although there is a theme that you pointed out, and there are often themes, and there are often parallels between certain characters for sure, but I do try and shake that snow globe up a little bit in my work just to keep myself busy with different points of focus. But look, I think part of our job as storytellers is not to shy away from the true spectrum of what it is to be human, from our very worst to our very best, and everything in between. So whether it's losing a child, whether it's child abuse, whether it's addiction, whether it's hatred and vile anger, whatever it might be that's fueling these characters and their trauma, I think part of my job and where I lean into difficult characters is to explore what is their humanity, if there is any left, or what was it before they were dehumanized, either if that's societal or through a combination of their own actions in society. Everyone starts out pretty innocent in my book. Sorry to go against the original sin thing, but I feel we as a society owe a responsibility to those who need our help most, and the ones that fall through the cracks, either as victims or as perpetrators of ill-doing, are the ones we need to help often the most, and don't. We have a very easy time sidelining them or forgetting about them, and that's been a driver of mine, I guess, since I was very young, I guess. And these are sort of extraordinary things to try and do as an actor. So that's the lure. How do I not let this become who I am? Well, I don't know that I'm not. I mean, I think like Mother Teresa, you contain the very worst of humanity as well as the best, and it's what you do with accepting all of it that really counts. And so maybe playing those extremes stops me being those extremes. I know where I'm going with this answer, Christ. But it's certainly not. It's not an exercise in therapy for me. It's more. The process of letting go again is just that. It's an art form, and it often feels unfinished, but that doesn't mean you can finish it outside of the canvas or the blank page, or in my case, the screen or the stage. You just have to let it alone. In the case of theatre, you're dead in the water again if you start chasing the ghosts of where it felt like you were getting somewhere. You can't perfect it. It's imperfectible, so just leave it at that and do your best. And I think there's a lot of things other than work that are very important in my life to pull me out of any focus on work, and that feeds into my work sometimes. But Yeah. Yeah, I have very nice people around me as well. I like producing partly because of that, to create an atmosphere and ambiance for difficult work and for challenging work and supporting new work, to your point, you know, new artists, people who are arriving fresh with a new platform or a new mode of speaking to their truth and what they have to say, what they have to give us culturally. So that's a very exciting part of what we do at Sunny March. And I've been thrilled to be part of that in front of the camera, but equally so behind in many cases. So I feel that's, yeah, it's a nice thing to be able to lend the focus on me too. And to keep culture fresh, so it's not just me or anyone else that we know. And then I guess, yes, just to leave that thing, I go to work, I work, and then I leave, and the two things seem to me very separate. I arrive and I leave it there when I leave.
Thank you very much to the filmmakers.
Thank you.